First off, I just want to say I am very sorry for not uploading in 4 months. I started ultra focusing on my TikTok content and got really burnt out doing Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok at the same time. Um, a lot of new games had came out at the end of this year, so I just took the rest of the year to kind of reset and refresh my mind. With the start of this year, I am ready for new YouTube videos. So, without further ado, let's get into my first video of 2023. What's up, guys? We have two powerhouses of shonen manga today, and even bigger simps given that notion, and trust me, they are Madara Uchiha from Naruto Shippuden and Enrico Pucci from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Both of which are major plot devices in the grand scheme of their respecting series, and both of which are powerhouses of their universes, and we will be getting to power scaling these two in just a little bit. But first, we need to introduce these handsome and devilish main characters. Madara Uchiha is a main antagonistic character from the very famous manga and anime Naruto Shippuden. He is a primary antagonist for the characters Hashirama Senju, Obito Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and the entire Naruto cast as a whole. To add some backstory on Madara, he was born during the Warring States period, which was a point in time where the countries were fighting for location and power. Two clans would be the strongest of the Warring States though, and that would be the Senju and the Uchiha. These clans would hate each other, feuding in battles even after being hired for other countries' bidding. During this conflict, he would befriend a member of the Senju clan named Hashirama Senju, but after learning their heritage, they were forced to be astray for the remainder of their lives. After fighting, they finally struck the highest positions of their respective clans to garner peace in this land. But Madara was not fond of the idea for peace after his brother Izuna died, so Madara fought one last time and surrendered shortly after for peace, once he knew Hashirama was willing to give himself for peace as well. They shortly after founded the village hidden in the leaves. After such times though, Madara became weary again and sought out knowledge to gain an edge on Hashirama. And during one last fight, Madara would feign his death to gain some of Hashirama's chakra and retain the powers of the Rinnegan. With said Rinnegan, Madara schemed a plan that would take 30 some odd years after his death to take place, and would almost enslave the entire world during. I obviously don't have to point out why enslaving an entire planet's worth of people is bad, but really all I'm just going to explain here is that this climax of Madara's mentality is during the show's escalation. In my honest opinion, this is really one of those classic evil villain tales of something good happened to good guy gone emo after too much power, emo guy gone full bad guy. But the reason why is slightly different. Madara wants peace over anything, but in a really unjust way. He's not mentally unstable in any real reason. He's just evil for not really allowing people to live with or without fighting. And I say allowing because this man was dead for almost 50 years and was still the strongest ninja in the fucking land. He is the epitome of Black Air Force energy. Madara was listening to NBA Youngboy before NBA Youngboy was even born. If we look back at the series more, Minato Namikaze fought with Obito for a short while and thought to himself that Obito had to be Madara just because Obito had control of the Nine Tails. Meanwhile, Madara had control of the Nine Tails and was able to clad Susanoo over Kurama. This man was so dedicated to making sure that his will was enacted that he made an entity of only his will to make sure his deed was done, and even after his death and when he came back, had a literal 1v1000 and came out not touched. That entity didn't end up being his. But what I'm really trying to put into context here is that he's literally just a menace to society. He didn't care for anyone but maybe Hashirama. He doesn't respect women at all either. As seen with his interactions with the Hokage and the Mizukage, he literally told them they were worthless because they were women. He was the first Andrew Tate stan. Madara doesn't have a moral compass near anywhere in the series. He seems to just totally apathetic to any of the morbid situations that occur in the entire series. The only time he even slightly sympathizes with the characters is during his actual death. Madara does not and will not in any circumstance save another if it will not benefit him in any way. Madara is merciful in a way that he does things as well. He doesn't really force anyone to fight with him. He's always giving people the chance to run away. It's almost as if Madara is self-aware of his power and actions, and if he's able, would want to prevent as many dead as possible, but if he has to kill, so be it. Now, Madara is definitely evil in his own right, and there's no doubt about that. So let's take a look at Enrico Pucci and see how he fares against Madara.
メイドインヘブン神の未明において退ける
Pucci was born in a wealthy Italian family and was raised Roman Catholic. At 15 years old, he was on the road to becoming a priest of his home church. He would then meet a seductive Dio, whom would coerce him into believing in the power of gravity. He would heal Pucci's disfigured left foot and then leave the premises. After that time, Pucci would hear a woman confess to him that she had swapped her sickly child for a fraternal twin. He then would discover that that baby that was swapped was himself. He also would find out today that his sister would fall in love with West Blue Marine, who was actually his fraternal twin. To keep it a secret, Pucci hired a PI group to stop West from dating his sister. Unaware that the PI group had ties to the KKK, they found out Wes's father was African American and game-ended Wes. Pucci's sister self-gamed as well during this situation, finding that out, and Pucci would discover a disc coming out of her face after these events. Though Wes did survive Pucci's attack, Pucci then sought after Wes to wipe his memory as well as taking Wes's disc. Pucci then carried out Dio's perfect world plan years later, where Pucci gathered the stand made in heaven and brings about the end of the actual universe. And the only reason Pucci didn't win was because Emporio El Nino was able to get his hands on the stand weather report and drop the oxygen level low enough to kill Pucci. I did leave out a lot of information that's important, but I'm going to sprinkle in pieces here and there that really are necessary for his character as a whole. The protagonist of Stone Ocean is a member of the Joestar family named Jolene Cujo, whom Pucci framed for a murder during her teen years so that Jolene would be held at the prison he was supervising. Pucci knew this and was a Catholic priest inside this prison, so he had a lot of power and leeway inside. Also knowing Jotaro Kujo would chase after Jolene after knowing this to get her out of prison, Jotaro would then become incapacitated from Pucci's stand, forcing Jolene to learn her stand on her own. Pucci would then manipulate the majority of the prison against Jolene and her friends. Pucci and Madara are really similar people in that they are really calm and really hard to get emotion out of. However, he slowly became radical while frequenting Dio and believed that the universe held humans hopeless. God, will, and fate were the forces that made humanity struggle. He picked up a lot of his beliefs with weird specific analogies that were connected to his beliefs as well. Pucci believed that fate ruled all, especially the Joestars, whom Dio manipulated those ideas into. Pucci believed his will is God's and Dio's alone. In fact, Pucci holds Dio and God in the same light and compares them a lot to the two almost all the time. As I said before, Pucci holds his composure a lot and doesn't really start being emotional until he gets really close to getting made in heaven. He really breaks his character after gaining this ultimate power of sorts. He's fierce and loud. He doesn't fret from telling people he's going to kill them, while earlier in the series it was more told as justice or vindication, atoning for their sins. Pucci definitely feels like God here, and we can see that. And interesting enough, Madara seems to reflect this. He's always challenging fighters he knows can put up a fight and threatens death a lot when he's close to his goal in mind. Madara and Pucci are very similar. We see here and here as examples. If I were to say who's evil, I'd be stuck on this question way longer than this video is actually going to be, because these are two very similar character aliases and do very similar things. They don't have a lot different, but I do know one thing for certain for both of these characters, and that's Madara is doing this for his own idea of peace in the world, and Pucci is doing this to appease his quote-unquote lover, Dio. And unfortunately enough, something as fickle as love for this event is pretty petty. Fucking simp. But Madara is way more malicious verbally to people and is actively misogynistic, as well as betraying and manipulating his students to get his goal achieved. Even killing the last few members of the clan he's a part of. Pucci isn't seen being malicious to anyone but the Joestars exclusively. And if I were to weigh these two on a scale of most evil, Madara would weigh definitely more in this evil intent. So in my humble opinion, Madara Uchiha is more evil here, and the case is closed with the evidence gathered today. Send him to horny jail, boys. And that's going to conclude it for today's video. I don't really know how often I'm going to be doing these. It took me about 2 weeks to do this. I think as I do the next one, it might take me a little faster, but I think what I'm going to do is just monthly upload for now, and if things change, I'll update as the videos start rolling out. But I do really appreciate everyone for watching this. I hope everyone has a great day. Leave a comment below if you guys want me to do other characters for this. I do like psychoanalyzing media characters, as you see, so please leave a like, comment if you like as well, subscribe if you want to, and have a great day. Bye bye.